And thanks for joining us on this Thursday afternoon. It is 4 o'clock. I'm Tom Green.
I'm Jennifer Meckles in for Kim Christensen today. There's good news for anyone who was worried about some severe weather hitting the metro today. Those ingredients, the stuff that makes it all come together, not really happening. We're still expecting some scattered showers and storms today, though. Let's bring in Lauren Robinson to walk us through our forecast.
Yeah, well, we are expecting those scattered showers and isolated storms as we go through the rest of the afternoon into this evening. But as always, it is Colorado, so we can't completely rule anything out. We are expecting those stronger storms across the eastern plains, though, where we do have a severe thunderstorm watch. The same goes for a good portion of the western slope and into northern portions of the high country here. But you can see Denver, most of the I-25 corridor, the Front Range, not included in either of these watches. Now, we did see some more warm weather today. We made it into the lower 90s. So far, we made it to, I think, 92 degrees at DIA. We're starting to cool down just a bit, but a lot of the Front Range and eastern plains in the upper 80s and low 90s. The same goes for the western slope. And then in the high country, we're seeing those 70s and 80s. So coming up in my full 7-day forecast, we're going to talk more about those scattered showers and storms in store for today. We have another round coming in midday tomorrow. And then as we go through the weekend, you guessed it, more scattered showers and storms across the state. I'll have details on all of that for you just ahead.
Thank you, Lauren. The Oak Ridge fire continues to grow down in Pueblo County, with officials now saying it's just over 1,000 acres in size and they have zero containment. Officials say they are still working to establish a full perimeter around the fire, saying there's a lot of unburned fuel inside that perimeter. That's creating the large columns of smoke that so many can see. The U.S. Forest Service saying part of the challenge as far as engaging the fire directly is the rough terrain in that area.
Where this fire gets really difficult and where we're trying to gather a lot of information right now is over here on the west side in Division Uniform, where we have very steep, rough terrain and access is very difficult. So we're looking for opportunities out in front of the fire to where we can attack that and make good progress on it.
And there still are mandatory evacuation orders for many of the homes along Middle Creek Canyon Road. Several other homes in the area are on pre-evacuation status.
A 4-hour-long standoff today in Highlands Ranch ended with 2 people in custody. Neighbors had to shelter in place while they waited it out. And police say they were trying to arrest somebody wanted out of Jefferson County. They just won't say why they wanted this person. 9 News reporter Lauren Scafidi is here to break down what we do know. Lauren, you were on scene all morning.
Yeah, police were trying to execute a search or a warrant this morning on Timbervale Trail in Highlands Ranch. We know one of those 2 people in custody was wanted on a warrant out of Jeffco. We've reached out to Jeffco to try and find out who this is and why they're wanted by police. But like you said, Jenny, nothing yet. Police living nearby say that it all happened, and people living nearby say where it happened is usually pretty noisy, but they've never seen any of this here before.
Definitely didn't need my alarm clock this morning, that's for sure.
It was a noisy morning on Timbervale Trail in Highlands Ranch.
7:30 was when I heard the first loud bang and some glass shattering, and I wasn't quite sure what it was.
Jonah Ullery lives 2 doors down from all of this. While the neighborhood was under a shelter in place, law enforcement told him to head back inside.
At that point, I was like, okay, maybe this isn't as much of a front row popcorn seat kind of thing that you want to sit and watch up close.
The Douglas County Sheriff's Office was executing a search warrant.
Oh, very uneasy, especially when they started using tactical force and you'd hear the loud bangs would actually shake the house.
Ullery says the commotion this morning is different from the disturbances usually coming from this address.
So they would rev their engines real loud, party until the wee hours of the morning, and right across the street is a new young family with a very newborn, and I know that they were not happy with the loud noises going on throughout the night.
About 4 hours after law enforcement got on scene, we saw South Metro Fire Rescue carry 1 person from the house in a stretcher.
Right now there's just a million questions up in the air, aren't they?
The Jeffco Sheriff's Office says the suspect was taken to the hospital. He was released to be booked into jail. They say a second person was also taken into custody this morning, but can't release any more information. In the studio, Lauren Scafidi, 9 News.
All right, Lauren, thanks for asking the questions. We'll keep asking.
So if you're feeling sick and you think it might be COVID, you might want to wait a bit before you test yourself. This is part of a new study coming out of CU Boulder, where researchers found that the best time to take a rapid COVID test is 2 days after your symptoms first pop up. They say that's because the virus is likely undetectable until that point, and patients who tested immediately would get false negatives as often as 92% of the time. However, when they waited 48 hours, that number dropped, but just down to 70%. Now, the study comes as Colorado is seeing a slight uptick in cases over the past several weeks. They say with the hot weather leading to many to stay indoors with the air conditioning, trying to stay a bit cooler.